Hello, sixth graders. We're going to start chapter 2 with a little bit of a real life situation. One of the things about integers, when we're talking about integers, we're referring, of course, to positive and negative values. Negative values, of course, those values below 0, oftentimes are not indicated with an actual negative sign. For instance, financial transactions. You'll often see a financial transaction shown like this right here. That is to say, an amount below 0 in parentheses. Sometimes fancier ledgers, automatic ledgers, will actually have it printed out in red as well. So anyway, so there it is. So here's my little real life situation, if you will. I have a credit union, doesn't charge fee for overdrawing unless I owe money at the end of the month. So let's take a look, see if I owe money at the end of the month. So again, $210 would be, that's an indication of, I have $210. This indicates an overdraw of $76. Hope that makes sense. So to start, I had $520, okay. Withdrawing $210, obviously that's subtracting, right? So we can look at it like that, $520. Understand that when I say this this $210 being withdrawn, if I write it as an addition problem, I could just say I'm adding this kind of negative number here. Now, this weird little hat that you see right here, this is a notation that they introduce instead of showing negative 210 like this, or showing it in parentheses. In your book, get used to seeing this little hat over there. It's just it's an arbitrary label. It's just showing that these negative values, below 0 are, I can indicate it in whatever way. Eventually, we are going to show this, okay, just if anybody's looking at this saying, why on earth are they teaching it this way? No, eventually we get to this, but we define this as being the additive inverse, but we'll get to that. So anyway, let's move on to the problem here. Where are we? Oh, deposits $335. Ooh, that's good. Withdraws $1,008. Oh boy. So that's kind of like subtracting, right? Or I could say adding a negative. All right, and then depositing $257 and depositing $198, and oops, there's a $32 withdrawal, so I could add a negative 32. So again, as you can see, I have these little hat numbers here that are indicating, I'll highlight these in yellow here for you. These are indicating negative values, amounts that draw down the cash. I hope that makes sense for you guys. So, question, do I owe a fee at the end of the month for an overdrawn account? The answer is yes, I owe a fee if my answer is below 0. Let's talk about how to do these kinds of problems here, shall we? Consider when we're talking about the set of all the whole numbers as well as these new negative numbers here, we're going to call these the set of integers. Notice there's no fractions on here, but we'll use this little z with no little subscript, a z, to indicate the set of integers. So as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it goes on. And they mirror that in the other direction. So 1 below 0, 2 below 0, 3 below 0, 4 below 0, 5 below 0, and so forth. Great. So obviously, number lines are still a thing. We could still use these to indicate 1 plus 7. That means I start at 1, and I hop over to the right 7 units, like so. And obviously, I'll wind up at 8. And again, if I say 3 plus 4, that means I started at 3 and hop over 4 units, like so. All right. That seems easy enough. Now, when we're writing these sentences, it's also important that you understand that we can write these as assignments on the operation of addition. That is to say, when I use an ordered pair like this, and I say 3, 7 on the assignment of addition, it assigns the value 10, which hopefully you're looking at this and saying, well, duh, it's just another way of saying 3 plus 7 is 10. Yes, that's all it is, folks. Don't overthink it. So let's move on, shall we? Now, when we get to something like this, what's going to happen here? We have this negative 7 and 5, and I'm doing addition in integers. Now, again, with that little subscripted z, when you see the subscript z there, it's just a reminder to people we're adding integers, and that's all. So if I start off at negative 7 right here, and I add 5 to it, as you can see, I am at negative 2. That's a nice little visual, right? So starting at negative 7, go over 5 units because it's adding 5. Yeah, we land at negative 2. And if I say, if I say it like this or like this, it's saying the same thing. Okay? Now, what happens though if I go backwards? What if I turn that thing around? This is negative 7 plus 5. What if it's 5 and negative 7 and that's the assignment? Well, this is just going to say I start at 5. And to add negative 7, that just means I'm going backwards, same as if I were subtracting 7, right? And as you can see, that also gets us negative 2. Again, whether we write it as an assignment or as this little number sentence right here, either way, works out the same. So, again, anytime you see 3 plus 7 equals 10, if I write 3 plus and a little subscripted z like that, it's just saying integer addition. And obviously, these both have the same answer of, 10, just it's whole numbers, right? So that's why we call integers an extension of addition on whole numbers. And again, when we talk about these standard names of integers, you're going to see these little hat numbers, as they call them right here. And again, just understand these hat numbers are simply the values below 0. Again, now you may have seen this before, written like this and written like this, and you will again. Okay, this is not actually going away. They're just approaching this from the standpoint of people like, let's say they've never seen a negative number with that little minus sign indicated. This is a perfectly legitimate way of writing the same thing. All right. Oh, and so when we say standard names, of course, obviously that's the simplified names. Non-standard would be if you haven't done anything with it. So like when I say a non-standard name, 1 plus 1, well, hopefully you look at that and know that that's 2, right? And that this one here would be negative 3. And that this one here, negative 3 plus 3, comes to 0, okay? For today, I was going to ask you to work through exercise. Let's go to 15. I was going to say 18, but I changed my mind. Let's go through exercise 15 today on page 17. Have a great rest of your day. We'll continue our discussion tomorrow. Be good for your parents. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and smash that like button. Bye-bye.